Right, what's up guys? Greg C. Green here, Saturday morning, Project Royalty coming January the 2nd. Quick one for me today because I've got to get off and go do my Christmas shopping, but I've got 5 status signals that make you absolutely irresistible to women. Status, success, over money. All right, status is one of the most attractive things that a man can have. And in this video, I'm going to give you 5 specific status signals that you can use tonight if you want. I mean, Saturday night, go out and use them tonight. These specific signals are going to make you way more attractive to women and they're going to make you irresistible, all right? So play the video. I'm going to go off do my Christmas shopping. Greg C. Greenway, I will catch you tomorrow. I'm going to tell you there's good news and there's bad news. And, you know, we always want to, let's start off the bad news first so we can end on a good note. Now, here is the bad news when it comes to you becoming the man. And when I say becoming the man, becoming a person that doesn't have to do, a guy that doesn't have to do anything, and women are already attracted to you. Men already want to be around you. Business opportunities come to you. Okay, that's what I'm saying. When I talk about being the man, okay, becoming the king, that's my definition of a king. A guy who's just so attractive inside and out that friends, opportunities, women just are drawn to his magnetic being. Okay, that's the king. Now, here's the bad news. You only have 3 seconds. And after that, she's made up her entire mind. Okay, you've only got 3 seconds from the moment a woman sees you to the point when she's made up her mind about you. That's it. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, done. That's it. That's it. 3 seconds. And after those 3 seconds, she now knows if she's going to sleep with you, if she's going to date you, she's going to have you as a boyfriend. Women make up their mind in these 3 seconds. So your first impression is absolutely vital. And what most men don't realize is that in the first 3 seconds, she's already picked up the signals that you're transmitting. Women have very, very, very good awareness filters. Like they know what's going on in their environment and surroundings at all time. You know, women can see a guy way before you've ever even noticed that she's around. And the signals that you're transmitting, you know, every person transmits signals. And the signals that you're transmitting, she picks up on these signals way before you've even opened your mouth. Now, these signals, they tell her if you're a pawn or a king. Okay, and it's a signal of status that most women are hardwired to respond to. Okay, and they're hardwired to respond into status in such ways that you can't even imagine. And status isn't just about looks, money, or even fame. I mean, it's not really any of that. It's something more. It's the way that people respond to you. It's the way that you present yourself. It's the way that you shape your world. And status, when you've got high status, okay, it's the most important thing that you can have in terms of being someone that's has a magnetic personality, has a magnetic being. You know, when you've got high status, that triggers an uncontrollable desire in women because that is something that they have been, the female mind has been hardwired to respond to status over thousands of years of evolution. Okay, it's just how she's built. And if you don't know how to engineer your status, you're always going to be in second place or worse. Okay? If you don't know how to engineer status, if you don't know how to show that you're a high-value individual, that you're a high-value male, you're always going to be settling. Always. That's always going to be the case. You're going to be in second place or worse. So that's the bad news, right? The good news is that high status, it's not something that you're given. And it's not something that only a lucky few are blessed with having. It's something that can be learned. And once you learn it, everything changes. 3 seconds. Remember that? I told you that 3 seconds is all you have before she's made up her mind. Well, how do you control what she thinks in those 3 seconds? Okay, how do you make sure that your signals that you're projecting, how do you make sure that throughout the interaction you're projecting the right signals? Now, I'm going to give you some tips. I'm going to give you 5 status signals. Now, you fix these status signals, all right? You go out and you handle these 5 specific signals. You're gonna instantly become a more attractive. Now, not create attraction. That's slightly different. You're gonna become attractive. Okay, and attractive is when, like I've said it throughout this video already, attractive is when she just wants you, regardless of what you say or what you do, just because of you, just by you being you. Now, I'm going to give you 5 status signals that you can go out and you can start using today. Okay? These are very, very important. These are the 5 most important status signals. And I'm going to give you them in the order of how she perceives them. So, status signal number 1, your fashion and your grooming. Now, this has got to be the first area you work on because it's the first thing that she's going to see. You know, she's going to see what you're wearing and what you look like in terms of your general get up, how you've been put together. She's going to see your fashion and grooming before anything else. And the difference that good fashion versus bad fashion is, I mean, it's mind-boggling how much of a difference it makes. Okay? And I'm not saying that you have to go and be a fashionista, or you've got to go and be, you got to go dress like an Armani model. But bad fashion absolutely kills you. And on the flip side, good fashion it does so much for not only women being attracted to you, but your confidence as well. I remember I had this, I had a client, and with one of the clients we had, one of the days, me and my stylist went over to his house because we were going to, give him a complete makeover. He just, the guy had been getting all the other areas handled, but his style, his fashion, his grooming, it just wasn't cutting it right now. We went to his house, we looked for his wardrobe, and it was, he looked like he just stepped out of Saturday Night Fever, the movie with John Travolta. And this was like a few years ago. So he just looked, everything was completely dated. So we took him out, we bought him some new clothes. We didn't even spend really that much money, but the stylist, my stylist that was with him, put him in clothes that made him look money. The guy was, he was short, he was bald, but just by changing his fashion, and you could see as the day went on, his demeanor, his vibe, his confidence starting to improve, because every time he was in good threads, good fitting clothes, everything started changing. And the best thing about it is that as we spent the whole day in one of the department stores, and we got him a few clothes. As he was leaving, the lady at the front desk at the cash register, she slipped him her phone number. Now, he was like beaming with joy because he said it's never happened to him. In his 44 or whatever, how old he was, he was in his mid-40s. And he said that in his entire life, in his 40-something odd years, that had never, ever happened to him. And that was after one day of changing up his fashion, his style. Okay, it's very, 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 very important. Women will reject you because of your fashion, and it's the first thing that she noticed. She will make a quick decision about you based on what you're dressed like. And the great thing about this is it's so easy to fix. Okay, all you got to do to fix your fashion, all you got to do to fix your style, all you have to do to fix your grooming is go to a magazine stand, flip through a copy of GQ, okay, and just look at the guys in there. Which one of the guys stands out to you? Don't necessarily go through and look and make a logical decision. Just flip through the magazine and just say, which one of the models in there stands out to you? Which one jumps off the page to you? Then take that model, okay, if you can find out who that model's name, or you can find out that particular designer, find more examples of that model or more examples of that look. Then go to your Nordstroms, your Bloomingdale's, your Macy's, Topman, okay? Go any one of these, major department stores. They all have stylists, and the stylists there are free. Just go to the stylist and ask them to dress you up exactly like the guy in GQ. Just say, hey, I want to look like this. This is my budget. It's their job to put you in clothes and fit you so that you buy them. And it's not crazy expensive. The stylist is completely free. I mean, if you're really on a budget, you could get the stylist to take you through the looks, all right, and take you, and show you the clothes, and then you can go and try and find them on eBay for half the price. It's also a really, really good date idea as well. Like, if you know any girls who are really into fashion, ask them, say, hey, I really want to change up my wardrobe. Would you mind taking me out on a let me take you out on a shopping trip. I just want to get some new clothes. I love your style and I really value your opinion. You look like somebody who could really help me become a more stylish man. Now, once you get your fashion and grooming fixed, okay, that's the very first thing. I'm telling you, your responses you're going to get from women are going to change overnight. So that's the first status signal. Okay, fashion and grooming. Like I say, it's very, very easy to fix. Flip through a copy of GQ, find guys that you like, then go to one of the major department stores and book a session with the stylist and tell her to dress you up like that guy. Okay, that's all you've got to do. So let's move on to status signal number 2, which is your body language. Your body language tells everything about you. All right, if we're going to go technical, let's go technical and go a little bit deeper. Now we'll explain how the body language works. But your belief, what you believe about yourself, controls your emotions. Your emotions control your body language. So by backwards rationalizing, people can subconsciously tell what you believe about yourself by your body language, because if you go backwards along the scale, your body language is controlled by your emotions are controlled by your beliefs. So People can subconsciously tell what you believe about yourself based on your body language. If you've got negative, poor body language, that's going to reflect on how you believe about yourself. And if you want to have status, you've got to believe you're the shit. Okay, you've got to believe that you're a high value male. And if your body language reflects that you don't believe that, then nobody else is going to believe it either. And the great thing about body language is that, you can easily start to change your body language just by changing your beliefs and your emotions. And, similarly, if you change your body language, your emotions will change. Everything is all kind of linked together. But confident body language is such a powerful status signal. And it's one of the best ways to actually controlling your beliefs and your emotions. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that later on, actually. I'm going to show you how to control your beliefs and emotions. But for now, what type of body language do you want to portray? You obviously want to portray confident body language. You want to portray high status body language. So you've got to show, the most important thing in terms of body language is comfort. You've got to show that you're comfortable. That's the very first thing. The body language is going to work in your, it's going to work against you is any body language that shows that you aren't comfortable. So when people are uncomfortable or they feel threatened or they're nervous, they try to make themselves as small as possible. Okay, so they shrink into themselves, they try to protect themselves, and their body language tries to not draw attention to themselves. That's an instinctual response to danger. Okay, humans are a mammal, and it's an instinctual response to danger. We make ourselves smaller. So if you have small body language, if you're not taking up a lot of space, then all it's going to do is indicate to people that, you don't feel confident, you don't feel comfortable, you feel threatened, you're nervous. These aren't the types of signals that you want to be given across. So to counteract that, the first thing you want to do with your body language is just take up more space, stand taller, spread out your legs. Okay, I'm not talking about, like do the splits, but have your legs at least shoulder width apart. Take up space. Imagine that, you're in your own home and you're relaxed and you're in a very comfortable environment. Take up as much space as possible, okay? Spread out your shoulders, lift your neck up. If you want examples of how to do this, of how to have really, really good body language, by far, the best person to look at, okay? And, I spoke about in Signal 1, in terms of getting your style and your fashion sorted out, that if you want to go to look through GQ and model some of those guys, a really good way of getting your body language sorted out is modeling actors on TV, because you got to think, an actor is coached, an actor is trained in having the best body language. Okay, that's what they're trained, and they do so many takes before they get that right. An actor doesn't just walk on the set and that's their body language. They've got a director telling them, no, stand up taller, change this about your walk, sit like this. So a really, really, really good person to pay attention to is Marlon Brando. The guy's got some of the best body language I've ever seen, and the sexiest body language as well. And it's no coincidence that he's one of the biggest sex symbols of the last 100 years. Like women literally were just falling all over themselves for this guy, and it was like a visceral attraction. It wasn't just, oh yeah, he's good looking. Women were like obsessed with Marlon Brando. And one of the things you'll notice about Marlon Brando is how slowly he moves. The guy takes his fucking time moving. And what does that demonstrate to people? It demonstrates that everybody else is on your schedule. Because if you're moving really, really quickly, okay, that can show that you're nervous, that can show that you're trying to appease other people. But if you're moving slowly, it forces people to look at you. And if you are moving in such a way that people look at you, then it indicates that you're comfortable with people looking at you. And if you're comfortable with people looking at you, people are going to think that it happens often. Okay, it's all connected. When you move slowly, when you take up space, when you stand as tall as you possibly can, just practice as if you're moving through water. All right, move really, really slowly, exaggerate it. Once you start doing that, that's when you're going to walk into a room, heads are just going to turn and girls are going to start looking at you, regardless of what you look like. the body language is very, very key because the body language shows exactly what you believe about yourself. And people can't tell what you believe about yourself, so they infer it from your body language. Now, the next signal is eye contact. So she's seeing you, she's seeing your fashion. Then she's seeing you move, so she's seeing your body language. The next thing that she's going to notice when you interact with her is going to be your eye contact. Now, you want to make eye contact with her before you even start talking to her. Before you even approached or introduced yourself to her, or so somebody introduced her to you. You want to make eye contact with everybody as soon as possible. So imagine if you are at a social event, or imagine if you're in a bar, or imagine if you're at a restaurant or a hotel. Start doing this. You thought out your fashion, okay, so you've got signal one down. You're walking slowly, okay, you've got strong positive body language. Start making eye contact with everybody. And I'm talking about strong, piercing eye contact. The difference between creepy eye contact and strong eye contact is don't hold it that too long, okay? If you start walking around the streets and walking around events and walking around anywhere and just giving people, guys, girls, everybody, giving them strong eye contact, you're going to get into the habit of just laser focusing people, okay? And when you look at people with that strong eye contact, it's very, very, very powerful. You're going to start to see people become submissive around you, especially women. You know, strong, dominant eye contact is what's going to make her start to be submissive. And when she starts to become submissive, that's when she's becoming very, very attracted to you. And, you know, to give an example of how to do it, you know, just look around, take stock of the venue, be aware of where you are. If you see a cute girl and you like the look of her, look at her, get eye contact with her. When you get eye contact with her, hold it. Do not look away. Let her look away first, hold it, smile, let her look away first, and then continue around, looking around. But it's very important that you start to make eye contact. And you can't just go into the venue and start making eye contact. You can't just go into a situation and just expect your eye contact to be good. You've got to practice. And the way that you practice is by making eye contact with everybody. So starting today, the minute you leave this video, make it a conscious decision that you're going to make eye contact for 2 to 3 seconds with every person you walk past. And granted, it's going to feel a little bit weird at first, but once you get a hang of it, it's going to be so easy. And, once you've practiced doing it and you get the hang of it, when you're going to feel so natural doing it to women, and women are going to pick up on it. One of the sexiest things women find is a guy who holds good eye contact, because it shows such confidence, it shows swagger, it shows a strong belief in himself. And that's very, very important for making you that king. Now, moving on to the 4th status signal. Okay, this is your voice tone, your speed, and your volume. Okay, how you speak. So let's break it up. It's 3 sections. Your voice tone. Your voice tone, even if you've got a high voice, it's got to be deeper. Okay, speak from your chest, not from your throat or from your nose. How do you know when you're speaking through your chest? Here's a small technique you can use. Take a deep breath in, and only speak on the breaths out. What that's going to do is it's going to make your voice naturally have reverb and naturally become deeper. And it's going to make you speak from your chest. There's something about speaking from your chest that really changes your voice tone. Okay, so here's the technique. When you breathe in, breathe out, and speak as you breathe out. It's going to make you louder, and it's going to make your voice tone lower. Again, when you have a loud voice, what does that say to the people around you? It says that you are used to people listening to you. You're used to having eyes on you. You're used to having the attention on you. Even if you're not somebody that loves attention, even if you're not someone that, craves the attention, it doesn't matter. People are going to think that you're comfortable with it. And that's the important thing. Because if they think that you're comfortable with it, if she thinks that you're comfortable having this attention, she's going to think that you're a high status, high value male. And that is by far the most important perception of you that she can have. So your voice tone, it has to be deeper. You've got to start speaking from your chest. Speed. Now, generally, if you're talking too fast, that is going to mean that you're nervous. Now, the thing with speed is ideally you want to slow down your speech. And, if you're only speaking when you breathe out, that's going to slow down your speech anyway. But at the same time, the thing with speed and the thing with the speed that you're talking is that you don't want to have just one speed of talking. Okay, sometimes you want to speed up, sometimes you just want to just slow things down and really make emphasis. The point is, you want to be controlled with your speaking. Okay, the reason why people say that you shouldn't speak fast is that generally that's because they don't have control in their speech. They're just blah, 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 blah. They're just blabbering away, okay? Because they don't have control. A lack of control shows nervousness, shows a lack of confidence. You want to control your speed. So you want to, at sometimes, be speaking a little bit quicker. Sometimes you want to slow it down. You want to add energy. You want to add some life. Talk with conviction. Talk with passion, right? Almost make it a performance. Actors are really, really good at this, especially theatre actors. I have a few friends who are theatre actors, and they are phenomenal at captivating your attention with the way that they speak, because they know when to speed up or when to slow down, okay? And this is something that's just going to come with practice. But if you're working on your voice tone and your volume by only speaking when your breaths come out, that's going to take care of that part of your speech anyway. But try and talk with more energy. Okay, try and have more conviction, have more passion in your conversations. Okay, this is going to make you seem so much more interesting. It's going to make people pay attention to you. It's going to immediately, the minute you talk to her, it's going to captivate her attention. And you got to think, there's so many things going on on a daily basis. Wherever you meet her, whether you meet her in a supermarket, whether her friends introduce you to you, whether you meet her in a restaurant or a bar, she is in a specific pattern. You need to captivate her attention and break her out of that pattern. And you can only do that by being someone that's speaking with passion and conviction and really giving a shit about what comes out of your mouth. Okay, so it's very, very, very important that you get your speech and how you conversate handled, because that's the fourth status signal. Now, the final status signal is one that's actually very hard to put into practice, but by far one of the most important, and it's your vibe. Now, when I say vibe, what is the general sense of feeling that people get when they're around you? Okay, are you like the happy-go-lucky type of guy? Do they think that you're intense? Do people not even notice you? The point is that vibe is linked to your personality and is linked to who you are, and who you are truly inside. That is always going to come through. This is the thing that she's going to notice the longer she interacts with you. Okay, if we look back through the status signals, she's going to notice your style, your fashion first. Then she's going to notice your body language. Then she's going to notice the eye contact. Then she's going to notice how you talk to her. Okay, and then finally she's going to notice your vibe. The vibe, you cannot fake this. Okay, I've seen guys go out there and try and fake it. You cannot. And even if you could, you wouldn't be able to fake it for a long time, because your vibe is who you are inside. It's your emotions. It's more than your body language. It's more than your voice tone. It's everything. What sense of energy? And I'm not talking like woo-woo type energy, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, what do people think when they hang around you? What's the general sense of who they think that you are? Okay, you don't want her to think that, oh, his vibe's a little bit off, or you don't want her to think that, oh, that guy's a little bit creepy. You want her to have the impression that, you know what, this guy's got a great vibe. There's something about him. That sentence, there's just something about him. That comes from vibe. And the only way that you can control your vibe is by controlling your belief system, by controlling who you are, by embracing your personality, by really becoming polarizing in a sense of who you are and taking that and just running with it, embracing it. Okay, once you do that, once you internalize who you are, once you work on your belief system, once you make sure that you have the right mindsets, once you really look at your personality and say, what's my positive? What are my negatives? How am I going to accentuate these positives? How am I going to, play down some of my negatives? How do I be the best me? How do I really embrace who I am? Once you start to do that, your vibe is going to come through. And when your vibe comes through, you're going to enjoy the interaction. Okay, you're going to actually enjoy talking to the girl, and you're going to enjoy life. It's one of the hardest things to put into practice, but if you can get it right, okay, if you can get your vibe right, that is one of the keys to having high status, being this high value guy. Okay. Now, just kind of recap over the five status signals. Okay. Number one is your fashion and your style and your grooming. Okay. It's the first thing that she's going to notice. You want to fix that, flip through a copy of GQ, look at guys that dress stylishly, that jump out on the page to you, then go to Nordstrom's, Bloomingdale's, Macy's, Top Man, whatever the department store is in your area, and ask the stylist there to dress you up like GQ, okay? Signal number two is your body language. Your beliefs control your emotions control your body language. Slow down, take up space, start to pay attention to the body language that you're projecting, because that's going to tell people what you believe about yourself. Eye contact. You want to go out and start making eye contact 2 to 3 seconds with everybody that you walk past. Guys, girls, children, whatever it may be. That's going to get you into the habit of holding strong eye contact with people. The most important thing with this eye contact, especially when you first make eye contact with a girl, do not look down. Okay? I got to emphasize this. When you make eye contact with someone and you break it to look down, it is a sign of submissiveness. If you want to break eye contact, look to the left or look to the right. Do not look down. Your speech, okay? Voice tone. You want to be louder and you want to be deeper. How do you do that? Speak through your chest. To speak through your chest, you want to try and speak only when you are breathing out. That's going to naturally make you sound louder, and it's going to slow down your speech. Additionally, with your speech, you want to add energy. You want to add life. You want to talk with conviction, talk with passion. Finally, your vibe. Okay, and your vibe is only going to come from doing a lot of the inner game stuff, which I'm going to talk about in the video coming up. But doing a lot of the inner stuff and your belief control and your mindset. And I'm going to talk about that in another video. Below this video, in the comment section, I want to ask you the question. Tell me, why do you want status? Why do you want to be the king? Okay, take a couple of sentences and, give me your thoughts. Join the conversation. Tell me why you want to have the status signals. Tell me why you want to be the king. So, answer that question for me. Why do you want the status signals? I'm Greg C. Greenway, and I'll see you next time.